T-mill, come out and play.
Play it loud.
We're changing the status quo one voice at a time through music, edutainment, children, and awareness. We're progressing and preserving the culture through real conversations with people who've had real success. Multicultural artists and musicians, models, entrepreneurs, innovators, and activists. This is Paradox East, and you are in tune with tmill. Powered by the MaitlandConservatory.org.
Thank you for listening to In Tune with T-mill.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today. Well, first of all, welcome to In Tune with T-mill. I'm your host, T-mill. It's been a while since not a while, but it's a little bit since we've been here at the Maitland Conservatory. Thank you to the Maitland Conservatory for hosting us. This podcast is powered by the Maitland Conservatory, the gym for creatives, as we call it. My guest today, this has been an interview that's been a long time in the making, so I hope you guys have a good time just as much as I do. The city of Pennsylvania has a rich soil and culture. Some of our most favorite and famous women in music and songwriting. Talking about Joan Jett, Billie Holiday, Jill Scott, Patti LaBelle, Christina Aguilera, Pink, Taylor Swift, and our guest not only has a foundation of that history and foundation, but the untold stories and musical magic of Huntsville. Huntsville's got a lot of great stories and a lot of great musicians coming from right here. Music's always been a part of her life. And perhaps she's on this journey to try to find out why this art is so enchanting to her spirit. She's been writing songs since the age of 8, while the rest of y'all was singing Frozen soundtracks and all that. She was writing her own songs. Her original drawings earned her an autograph from Bono of U2, who she met at 11. She aced Nashville, Tennessee Bluebird Cafe audition and accepted to the prestigious intensive program at NYU's Summer Songwriting Program at the age of 13. Yes, your math is correct. She's the youngest person to ever be accepted. My guest is a member of the Nashville Songwriters Association International, where she's consistently been given accolades for her writing, such as NSAI's Top 40 in honor of Bob Kingsley and many more, which of her music has been picked up by many publishers. Also releasing 2 successful EPs before the age of 18, charting in both the US and the UK, performing more dates than a high school basketball team. I don't know if you guys know how many times they play, but they play a lot. Wrestling teams as well. She is writing, recording, still living her life as a teenager, growing into a young adult. Her songs are her experiences, her dreams, her ideas, her perspectives, and most impressive, her music is both of and ahead of her time today. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Delaney Faulds to the show. How's it going?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for that introduction.
It's all true. When it's all facts, it's all true. It makes it really, really easy to do that. So, and ladies and gentlemen, I don't have many guests that bring gifts. So she's already on my gift list because I got donuts. Listen, I had a whole birthday yesterday. And a lot of y'all shout me out, a lot of y'all said happy birthday, but how many of y'all gave me donuts? That's what I want to know. I mean, some of y'all I've been knowing like her whole life, and I didn't get donuts. But that's okay. We're going to talk about that later, so thank you for that. So listen, how are you?
I'm doing good. You know, I just started my junior year, so
congrats.
Yeah, getting into the swing of things right now, but I'm doing good.
And how are you balancing all that? Because you got junior year. I feel like I was telling my son junior year and senior year seems to be like when it really hits you.
Yeah, definitely.
You know that, all right, this is real, you know. But how are you balancing that, your academia, your education, your life, and music?
Yeah, it's definitely always been something that, you know, I've had to really think about. It's hard to prioritize because I've always cared a lot about school, and I always wanted, you know, to get good grades, to get to a good college and everything. So it's kind of hard, but I just like to do my homework as fast as I can, I had to do a study hall this year.
Do you do your homework in class? I used to do that. Like, I didn't pay attention to anything they were saying.
Yeah. Sometimes they get on to you, though.
Yeah.
But I just try to get everything done as fast as I can, and then spend kind of my evenings with music a lot, or especially the weekends, because when I have more time. Got you.
Now, when do your songs and your lyrics and melodies come to you more? Is it on the road? Is it in class? Is it in your dreams? You know how you get that spark of writing and you're just like, I gotta write. I can't not do what else this is going on. When do you get that inspiration? Is it on the road, in class, or in your dreams?
Yeah, definitely in class sometimes. It's tough because I like to record a voice memo or like put it in my notes. So if it's class, it's hard because I can't get it out, of my brain, or I have to like go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah, it's like sneak to the phone.
Yeah. Especially in probably the evenings, like quiet time, especially like in my room or at the end of the day when I'm falling asleep, that kind of thing. That's usually when the ideas come.
Got you. Now, world breaking news: you finally joined TikTok.
I did.
Right. All right. How's that going? Was this something that you always planned to do, or was it kind of one of those things that was, like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a try?
Yeah, a lot of people talk about it like, oh, you have to join TikTok because it's like the next big thing. I never did because I don't know, I never felt like I didn't know what to post on there because all I really knew about was like the dancing stuff, and I don't dance, so. But I joined it like in the summer, and I just kind of post what I post on Instagram, just covers or little fun things that I see, because people have really creative ideas on there. Yeah. So I kind of pull from that sometimes. So.
You know your own personality. Do your own thing on there. Like you don't have to follow nobody. Do your own thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your two EPs. You've got your self-titled debut EP, Delaney Faulds, and then the EP Even If. When you think about it, what are some of the parallels and some of the nuances between those two? Obviously, to me, I noticed there was a lot more up-tempo on Even If, and you kind of experimented a little bit. But for you, what would you say are some of those nuances and parallels?
Yeah, I think the first one, it was like my favorite songs that I'd written up to that point. Because it was my first EP, I had a really long time to pull from a song I wrote years ago, a song I wrote a couple months ago, stuff like that. And I think I really chose the ones that I thought represented me the most, which is usually kind of slower, reflective songs. That's kind of what I naturally do. And then with the next EP, I was like, okay, maybe I should put in some variety, put in a couple more up-tempos just to, change it up a bit. Okay. I think they're pretty similar in the way that it's just kind of stuff I feel, stuff I think about. That's what is in those songs, And I
think it still fit your personality. It wasn't too far, because you know how you hear artists and they go like all the way left, and it's like, oh, I don't know if that's quite you, but yours was in the same wheelhouse, still very up tempo. My son said, I feel like when we were, listening to it one day, and he's like, yeah, I feel like we're going on a road trip, so it's like still upbeat and it's still going. Your debut one, was that written like during the pandemic, like 2020, and then you kind of picked? Or was that just kind of, because that was like, January 21?
I think so.
Okay, cool. So was that just time you had to really dig into making music, or was that just, a concentrated, all right, this is what we're going to do, not because of I got all this time?
Yeah, I think that definitely was a part of it. The pandemic gave me a lot of time to be at home. I know it was obviously not all good things, but it was a lot of time for me to make music, and I think that is when I started recording. So it was helpful, because I just had more time away from school and things like that.
Less distractions.
Yeah.
Okay. So what memories do you have most of now that you can go back and reflect, the weeks of the workshop at NYU? What memory kind of sticks with you the most about that time there?
Oh man. Probably like meeting some songwriters that were ahead of the program, because they had a lot of insights that really stuck with me, about writing and really thinking about what you're trying to say and how it comes across. They are just like masters of what they did, and I think that really stuck with me. It's kind of something I want to work towards, you know.
Got you. Okay. What are, so let me ask you this, as an artist and a songwriter, because I think there's an honesty, in your music and your songwriting, and like a mirror that some people may not be quite ready to, put out there just yet, or even if it's just the song, even if it's not your experiences, maybe the topics or the emotions that you're talking about are things that people only talk about in their head versus out loud. But what would you say is, as a songwriter and as a musician, that you're most afraid of, or that this is my biggest challenge, where I'm going to overcome this, or this just scares the heck out of me?
Yeah, I think that is a big challenge that I face, is being vulnerable and sharing, my songs, because it's like very close to, me personally, because it comes from my life sometimes, and, it's like my words that I'm putting out there, and
you can't get them back. It's like
right.
Once it's out there, it's, I can't take it back.
Yeah, I'm a very shy, introverted person. I always have been, and I think that's the biggest challenge I've always faced, is like, okay, you gotta just be comfortable being yourself, especially playing live, getting the nerves under control, things like that. That's probably my biggest challenge.
Got you. Just wear shades.
Yeah.
Some sunshades. Like, I don't know why, but they work. How nervous were you at the Bluebird? That's a huge accomplishment. Yeah. So congratulations on that. Some people are still, working their way, and not no slight to them, but it deserves to be, celebrated. So just what was that experience like, and what did you like most, and what were you enjoying in that moment?
Yeah, it's very nerve-wracking. That's probably like where I get the most nervous, because I've been performing for a while now. Like, since I was little, I always performed at church and things like that. So I've gotten my nerves mostly under control, but I think the Bluebird definitely was like old times where I got just so nervous, because it's like, how many people have played there that are just like so cool. Like Taylor Swift played there and everything. Like, I cannot live up to that, so, but the thing that I like about it there is that they really want you to listen to, like, what the singer is saying. And as a songwriter, sometimes you play out at, like, restaurants or something, and you feel like people aren't really listening. So it's, like, a good thing and a bad thing, because it makes you nervous, but it's also cool to feel heard,
Okay. We're going to play a quick game, and this is the thoughts that are running through your head when you're on stage.
Yes.
You got 60 seconds, and when the clock starts, I just want you to just run down everything you're thinking about. Just random thoughts of what we're going to go into the mind of a songwriter on stage, and into Delaney, no matter how weird or what. And there's a payoff. Like, okay, so you get points in this, so for each thought that you do, that's worth 2 brown sugar Pop-Tarts. All right? So there's a payoff, So we're going to do a 60-second countdown. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. And let me get the stopwatch ready. Get the timer. Let's see, here we go. 60 seconds. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Go.
I think, am I singing the right notes? Is my mic loud enough? What song am I playing next? Where's my water? Do I know that person that just walked in the door? Are they listening? Am I doing a good job? When can I eat lunch? Is this song good for my voice? Sometimes I think about that. Oh man. What else?
You got 20 brown sugar Pop-Tarts right now. You can keep going.
Did I just play the right chord? I can't see my chord chart. I'm freaking out. I forget the words.
5 seconds left.
Oh no. That's probably it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. No problem. But that's a lot, man.
Yeah.
So when people think, oh, that's so easy, and just the mind of a songwriter, I think is pretty incredible. Now, what's when you think about your career aspirations and goals and songwriters, like what's next for you? Like, what are you? Because of course, everyone there's the be famous or land a song on a film or different things like that. What are your career aspirations?
I mean, it would be cool to like have a publishing deal or like a record deal, but I know that that's not the most important thing necessarily. I kind of just want to keep putting out music that I believe in and that I feel like represents me. And with my next album, I just want to make something that hopefully other people like, but that's still true to myself, you know, just keep doing me and hopefully it'll get somewhere.
And you said hopefully people like, you did the math. There's what, 7 billion people in the world or something you said? Like how much, so somebody's gonna like it, you know what I mean? And you just find those people.
Right.
Is that album something we are looking at this year or just not yet or?
Maybe. I'm gonna start recording soon.
Okay.
So hopefully in the next couple months, you know, it takes a couple months, but hopefully this year, maybe beginning of next year.
Is there something you want to, a style or a topic or artist-wise, something where from the last EP to your album where you're going, all right, I want to try this. Like this is, what's the stunt, you know, songwriter in you, the daredevil in you where you're like, I want to try this. If this is going to be my album, I want to try this. We can check all the boxes, but I have to try this. What is that?
Yeah, I've been experimenting with some more pop, I guess, type stuff. Some like a little more attitude songs. I want to put some of those on there, but you know, I also want to keep my reflective songs. So just trying to find a balance that makes sense, I think, is what we're looking for on the next album.
Okay, cool. And any advice to, you know, you think, you know, maybe you think you're just starting or you don't realize how much you've learned until you have to teach it to someone. You know, so think about the things that you've learned, your experiences, things that you've learned from other people or things that you've learned on your own. What advice, just a couple, and it doesn't have to be in any particular order or, you know, it could be anything, but just any advice where you're like, man, if I were me, you know, I wish someone would have told me this, you know, at this age or before, you know, I made it this far. So what's some of those things? Because there's a lot of, again, aspiring songwriters, you know, girls that are, you know, looking for, that may think, oh man, I'll never make it to the Bluebird, and then they see you and they go, man, like, I can do it. You know, they may have never saw anyone their age or their style, their personality, because they can relate to you. So what would be some advice that you would say to, you know, aspiring songwriters and girls that look up to you or that are just wanting to get into the business?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things I've learned is whether you're writing or singing, performing, whatever it is, like, as long as you feel what the song is trying to say or what your voice is trying to say, then other people will feel it too. And you just have to be comfortable with being yourself and putting yourself out there, and just don't worry too much about what other people think, you know. It's always the things that make you different that really take you somewhere, and I think you should embrace that. For sure, because there's somebody going, me too! Finally, you know. So for you, what's been so far one of your most memorable moments of your career? Like, what do you look back and you go, man, this was really unique, or, you know, man, this was a moment, you know, like I didn't think this was going to happen. Because before long you start to, you know how you're not necessarily, you don't forget things, but you sort of don't have enough time to really sit down and champion some of those moments or really just enjoy them. But for you, what's one of those times where you're going, you know, I really did pretty good there. That's a nice moment, you know? Yeah, I think there's a couple things that don't feel that real sometimes. Like, there's an article about me on AL.com, and like, I don't know, that's kind of crazy to me. Like, you read articles on the news, like, about famous people, and it's just weird that there's an article out there somewhere someone might come across that's about
Shout out to
me.
Matt Wake, yeah,
it's crazy, and I'm really grateful for that. And probably the Bluebird, going the first time, it also doesn't feel real, like, because I just remember being, like, really nervous and everything, and, like, it's like part of you doesn't want to do the big things because, like, you're worried, what if I mess up, you know? but it's the big things that really like, I don't know, it's cool. It's cool, and I'm glad that I went through with it.
There you go.
Even though I, you know, had some hesitancy. And it's also crazy about meeting Bono. I think it was a big moment in my career as far as like meeting someone that you look up to so much.
Yeah.
And I think it really gave me some courage to keep going, you know.
Also, you know, what's unique about or cool about that video, you guys can go, you know, check out on Twitter or, you know, just however you find it. What I think is cool about it, and maybe something that you may have taken note of as an artist, is just his patience. You know, where you see these meet and greets or, you know, artists that are and they're, you know, in a rush, and rightfully so. I mean, you got things to do, but there's just some artists where they never get that patient. You know, so I get it. Everyone's busy, but then there are some artists that do take that time to really have a conversation, or at least to acknowledge you and you know, look you in the eye at least, you know, or sign an autograph and maybe have a conversation with you. So, and I'm sure that's not the first time he's done it, and I'm sure there's plenty of other artists that have done. A lot of artists that I've met that's done it. So I think it's just really it says something, you know what I mean, as you're coming up, you know, to say, oh well, how am I going to engage with people that listen to my music? Is it just one of those things where it's kind of, you know, you stay over there, I'll stay over here, you know, or if it's every now and then, like, let me relax, like I'm just like you, you know, we're not that, you know, different, you know what I mean? So I just got a lot of people I have to pay. So for you, what's next? What's coming up? You know, you got the album coming up this year. We're going into the summertime. What's your favorite time of year, like season wise?
I think fall.
Me too. Thank you. Because this summer's been ridiculous.
So hot.
What's coming up for this year? You got fall coming up. You got winter, of course, and then we're going into 2023. This year's like flying by. And then for you, that means you're going to be going into soon your senior year. But so, what's next for you? Like with your music, is there any touring, any news that you want to talk about? You know, to make sure that we get the word out about that as well.
Yeah, I'm playing the Bluebird again.
Nice.
At the end of this month, so fingers crossed. I'm gonna be busking around town at some like city events, I think. Now
you gotta explain busking to some folks.
Oh,
so for folks here busking, they're like, what is that? Like you jumping out of a plane? Like what is busking? So what is that?
It's weird.
Right.
I'll just be playing out like, I think there's a food truck event, stuff like that, like Big Spring Park. I'll just be playing live on the sidewalk, stuff like that. Yeah. So that means bring your cash app, bring your cash, Venmos, all that good stuff, and come out and have a good time outdoors to check her out. And of course, you guys can check out the music. You can check it out at her website, and also there's a link tree there with all of the details and things like that coming up. So why brown sugar Pop-Tarts? I just thought about this. There's like 30 flavors of Pop-Tarts and brown sugar Pop-Tarts? That's the best one.
The best one out of 20 flavors?
I think so.
Now, out of the music business, you know, the different events that you go to, the different conferences, how do you, being like, I have to imagine there's times where you're like the youngest person in the room.
Yes.
And you're trying to navigate, you're trying to, do business, you're trying to have people take you seriously and for people not to talk to you as a child, so how do you navigate those rooms and those interactions and whatnot?
It's a little hard sometimes. I think you just have to carry yourself as a professional, I guess. And, sometimes you walk into a write and people don't always take you seriously, or they're like, okay, so we're writing a song about math class today, or or you meet people and you say like, I want to be a musician, and it sounds like, oh, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up. It's like they don't always think that it's real, or like you really are pursuing it. And I definitely understand that assumption, because I have a lot of life left to live, a lot of stuff to learn.
Yeah, but you work hard. Like, you've got a great team, you've got great support behind you, but you're also taking it seriously, and it's not, a hobby, it's something that you're really doing. Right. And so there has to be, I guess people have to notice that. You know, it's like the saying goes, real recognizes real. You can almost tell, not necessarily, but you can get a sort of a sense of this person is taking herself seriously. Or this person, if this person's in the room,
Right.
She could be anywhere else, like right now. She could be like making Pop-Tarts. She could be like out at the water park or something like that. But she's here, she's in this room for a reason. You know what I mean? And so at least when someone's in the room, kind of give them that respect. Like, you know, hey, how are you doing? And don't just assume, you know, that they're, you know, just, I don't know, that they work at the hotel convention or whatever. You know, and just give them that respect. 'Cause I understand that's got to be pretty difficult. Absolutely. So anything else that we miss? I want to make sure that, again, I appreciate your time.
Thank
you being here. We've been working on this for a minute. And I got donuts out of it, so I'm tearing those up. I might give my kids half, you know, maybe. But anything that we might have forgot or anything that you want to also cover. Because again, this is a conversation. This is your mic. This is your seat. And without artists, entertainers, and people that are changing the status quo, I don't have a job. So you have to keep doing what you're doing so we can continue to talk and have these conversations and whatnot. But for you, is there anything that we didn't cover or anything that, you know, you say, you know what, I really want to kind of, you know, touch on this a little bit? Anything like that?
I think we covered most of it. Yeah.
And this won't be the last time. Like, trust me. Like, this is. I definitely want you to come back. I definitely want everyone to ask questions in the chat room. Those of you guys that are watching this on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Well, not Instagram, but Facebook, YouTube, and of course Paradox East Radio. You guys drop your questions. Twitch, I know you guys always have great questions, so drop them in the chat room. Delaney is going to be tagged in that, so make sure that you ask the questions. Don't ask stupid questions. That, you know, so make sure you ask some questions, and we'll make sure that she gets those answered. All right. How can people get in touch with you? How can people book you? And what information can you give to the people for that?
Yeah, I have a website, www.delaneyfaulds.com, which has all my links on it. I have an Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can reach out to me there. Yeah, you can find my link tree on like any social media, my website. I have a YouTube. Yeah, I think that covers it.
Outstanding. All right. Well, again, this has been another episode of In Tune with T-Mill. In Tune with T-Mill is powered in part by the Maitland Conservatory. Thank you to the Maitland Conservatory and everything that you do. The Gym for Creatives. If you guys, so a couple closing announcements. Well, we'll do this. We'll go to a quick commercial break. Allow us to get some air real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll close the show out. We'll give us some shout outs to some of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Maitland Online, where your dreams meet the skills they need to be successful, where you are no longer just dreaming, but doing. Powered by Maitland Conservatory. Learn more, be more.
It's showtime, everybody! Showtime! What up, party people? It's about that time. Kaz 31st birthday party. Hold up. It's Kaz 90s throwback birthday party, hosted by Jay, the Misfit, and Paradox East Radio, with DJ performances and much more. Friday, August 19th, from 8 p.m.
till midnight
at Sincere Event Studio,
2107 Meridian Street, Huntsville, Alabama.
It's Kaz 90s throwback birthday party.
And you better bring a gift for the birthday girl, or you might not get in.
Hey guys, my name is Eliane Amhert. You can find my music on my website, Eliane Performs, or anywhere on social media under my name, Eliane Amhert, and you are listening to Paradox East Radio. That's right.
East Radio is brought to you in part by the Maitland Conservatory, Sunshine Enterprises, our friends at Cotton and Rockets. And for booking, airplay, advertising, promotion, or more information, hit us up at asktmill@gmail.com. Couple of announcements. A lot of great things happening in a couple weeks. We got the block party happening August 20th. August 20th is the block party. Make sure you guys come out to that. It is going to be in 5 Points. All right. So more information at 5pointsblock.com. If you want to be a vendor or a sponsor, you can visit the 5 Points block. Also, catch me weekday mornings on 94.1 WHRP. The Maitland Conservatory Open House is happening August 20th as well. There's a whole lot going on. It's a back to school party. It's an open house here at Maitland Conservatory. Then there's a block party. And then I'm going to be asleep in a coma for like a week. You guys can sign up for live stream classes, music production, radio classes, podcast classes, everything you see us do here. You can, and we have free sample classes. So if you just want to get in, figure it out, and just say, hey, I just want to see what this live stream class is about, or this music production class is about, all ages are welcome. Visit the maitlandconservatory.org/programs, or ask them about sample classes for guitar, songwriting, vocal lessons, drums, recording, anything like that. And if you enjoyed the show today, definitely drop a tip on our Cash App or PayPal. Every single dollar goes to our staff, crew, the operations, the light bill, sound, studio time, all that good stuff. And Phantom Fest is September 10th. It is all day at the camp. That's going to be crazy. If you missed Phantom Fest last year, the camp was full. Delaney, it was from like University Drive all the way back to the amphitheater. It was just people everywhere all day long. It's going to be back-to-back performances from every genre that you can name. And I mean, some of the most incredible independent artists from around the area, from around North Alabama, Southern Tennessee, are going to be taking the stage. So please fill your trunk up with some hydration and Gatorade and come on out September 10th to Phantom Fest. And the camp's going to have plenty of hydration. They always make sure everyone's got enough water. They do great with ice water. A lot of venues don't do that. You know, them being outdoors, I think it's pretty cool. They keep us all hydrated. They got nice tents. You got to get there early because somebody's going to get that tent spot before you do. So come on out September 10th. I definitely have to thank my guest, Delaney, for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Hanging out. I really appreciate it. Give them the website again for more information on how to get in contact with you.
www.delaneyfaulds.com.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, In Tune with T-Mill. We will see you guys on the next episode. We out.